All right, it's 2:45. We'll call our property maintenance hearing to order. Autumn?
So I'm just back to give you guys updates on the two properties in Rio that have been getting cleaned up. I went and took pictures this morning that you both have, and as far as I'm concerned, they are pretty well in compliance. As long as you guys are happy with them, then we can probably close the case. If there's anything else in the pictures you want addressed, then let me know and I can relay that to him.
I'm assuming they're gonna continue to clean up this dirt.
It was still
Somebody's-
part of the Rio thing, and then whenever they did that culvert work or whatever they did out by the road, that's where the concrete and stuff comes from. As far as the ordinance states, the dirt and the concrete and stuff is really not a violation unless there's weeds and stuff all over it, which they've cleaned all of that up. So, I don't know that there's really anything to force them to do with it.
And the
Except
Rio
it wasn't
water.
theirs, it was the Rio water people who dumped it there.
Well, majority of that dirt has been hauled out. The rest of what is there, I don't know if that's still a Rio water thing that they're going to clean up, or what the situation is with that.
And then the gas pump or the diesel,
I mean, none of that stuff is in violation, it's just,
nothing's in violation, it's just okay
it's
to.
just an abandoned gas station pretty much, so.
I'll make a motion that we close the old used car lot. I'll make that motion first and then we can continue discussing the, old, fueling station.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
The Rio water, I think their cleanup crews are coming back in the next several weeks. So I don't know, maybe more of this does go away, but if it's not in violation of an ordinance, then it essentially just becomes categorized as a blighted property, or how does that work? Like, there's nothing to enforce essentially,
Not
right?
as far as the property maintenance ordinance goes.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of people have piles of dirt and limbs and whatever on their property, and it's,
And this is zoned commercial, residential,
I'm assuming, yeah, it would still be zoned commercial because it would still be the zoning from when it was the gas station.
What are you thinking?
I would like to see all that cleaned up. I mean, they've done a pretty good job, whether it's the ordinance.
I mean,
The
like,
guy moving in a good direction.
like the concrete, asphalt, whatever chunks of stuff is there on the north side. I mean, I don't know, it not did all of that whenever they did the road work there, however long ago that was. It's been years ago at this point, I think, but
Yeah, I
they
think-
did some type of work there. So I'm assuming that was from whenever they put a culvert in, whoever it was.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not in, direct violation of the ordinance, you know, we could say that we want him to clean it up, and I think it would look a lot better if it was, but, I don't know how we can enforce it if it's not a violation.
So if we were to close the case as is, and then, you know, it becomes spring again, and then we have a violation of tall grass again.
Well-
So did we ever do anything with the ordinance that if you're a continuous violator? Because that seems to be the situation, not necessarily with this said property, but
It's pretty well always the situation for the properties that we discussed, but, I mean, they do get a higher fine if it is the second year or continuing after that. But, I mean, there's really no way to enforce making them maintain it. So,
I
they clean
understand.
it up, and I don't go back, once the property is closed, I mean, I don't keep rechecking all of our closed ones until it gets a complaint again, then we start the process over.
And I think from our board, we can give a lot of grace on those first time offenders, and then if it becomes habitual, then, you know, maybe we pull it back a little bit and like, hey, hard, fast deadlines that fall within the ordinance and the penalties that we've already put in. You know, I think it'd be
Yeah.
up to us the second time, third time to say, we've given you grace every single year for 4 years. Let's figure it out.
But for instance, the properties that were cleaned up last year, that we paid to clean up, they are all in violation again, every single one of them.
But no one's filed a
And,
complaint.
well, I just received a complaint last week on 2 of them, so we're starting the process over. But they are abandoned, they're on tax sale with a bunch of taxes on them, and nobody's buying it, or whatever the case may be. And, I mean, I don't know how you fix that. Because we can pay to clean them up again, but they're not going to reimburse you for paying to clean them up. And it could just be a year after year thing where the county's just footing the bill to maintain a property.
Well, I don't think that we should clean them up, but if it is on the tax sale, somehow we need to figure out that it becomes acquired property of ours that we, if we're gonna clean it up, then we can put it out there to be,
But does the county want to take ownership of a bunch of random lots in Hatfield
you
or
mean,
whatever? that maybe-
words that others have stated before, that we're not realtors, we're not own property? Cause I know I've heard that before.
Well, I mean,
But I
I'm
do
just
think
saying,
that we should look at it,
in some instances, maybe if the county paid to clean it up, maybe an adjoining property owner would be willing to buy it for a small amount. But in a lot of cases, it's an empty lot that somebody's probably not going to want to go build a home on just because of maybe the area that it's in. And you just don't wanna get in a situation where you're taking ownership of properties that then you can't do anything with, you know what I mean?
I think from
That's my opinion.
properties that have been in this situation, we're not the only county that has this issue, and I do think that there are other cities and towns and counties that have done things. We just need to look into what,
Louisville's doing it right now where they're selling, and it's different because it's not lots, it's homes. They're selling homes for $1 with the end goal of a flipper buying it, family buying it, fixing it up, increasing the AV. But if we're dealing with a bunch of lots, you're talking about a lot more capital and then, yeah, do we want to hold on to that on the promise? And I don't know.
I mean,
It's
I know
a-
Richland has done great things with they've been buying properties at tax sale and stuff, and then, you know, getting contractors to build new homes on them and all of that, which is wonderful. But some of these areas that these properties are and stuff, I don't foresee that happening, like any high dollar houses or anything being put on the lots in these areas just because of location and adjoining properties and whatever. So, I mean, I don't really know for some of these situations what the good solution is.
How much if you had a guess, how much do we spend on cleanup? Just any random throw a dart, how much do you think we would spend on cleanup?
It's
Historically?
just going and mowing and stuff like that. $200, $300, $400 depending on how big of a mess it is. And, you know, if somebody can go in there with a tractor and bush hog and they're not worried about what they're gonna hit and there's not a bunch of debris and all of that, they can just go in and mow, it's a whole lot cheaper. But when you've gotta have your manpower out there cutting stuff up or removing trash or whatever, then, you know, it's quite a bit more. But it's just kind of a constant battle.
or do we need to make a motion on this?
I'll make a motion that we close it If this is something that continues to be habitual, you know, we allow for a little bit of grace, but if it is a recurring offense to the ordinance, then, you know, if this shows up again, we take another look at, how soon we enforce the fines. But I don't, if it's not in violation, I think we should close it.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I'll second closing it. I don't agree with any grace period on any further violations.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Anything else?
That's it.
Any old business? Any new business? I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second?